Man, we got a lot of fights coming up this weekend. A lot of fights. I don't know if people realize it, but this fight between Puello and Matias is gonna be good. It's gonna be a lot of fights on this weekend. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of good fights. I hope they don't overlook them. Hold on. Cause yeah, it's a lot coming on Friday. Yeah, it's a lot of them coming on Friday. Yeah, Matias, he gonna have a good matchup with Puello, man. I've been looking at that matchup. That's gonna be a very good matchup. I can't wait. We're only a couple of days away. By the time Friday get here, it's not even really gonna be a factor to even talk about. But it's not a lot of hype around this fight though, as I can see from what fights everybody's talking about right now. But I thought that was a big fight going into it. And it's for a belt. Matias get this win. This will be the biggest win he got. Yeah, he needs to pull this off, especially for the age he's at. It's time to make a move. Definitely sucks that dude Katia failed a drug test. He's not gonna be able to fight Morel now. I don't know who the replacement is, but if they're gonna have a replacement, but yeah, that's not good. Uh, yeah, the way they explaining some of these failed tests. Oh man, they told Morel something different. Would be a bad look for everyone involved if he was still allowed to fight. No point in trying to save it. They still trying to let this fight go through? Oh, they had a situation from 2 years ago. Man, they got so much stuff coming out all over the place. Yeah, that is that is true. So this dude Katia, he had a failed test, I guess over 2 years ago, and oh no, it was over a year and a half ago. No, less than a year and a half ago. Last April. Yeah, I don't know, man. They knew about this already. Yeah, they knew about this already. So I don't know, man. The way things going right now is crazy. They gotta have the information come out the right way though. I think right now they got a lot of random things coming out, but as far as Matias this weekend, a lot of people expecting Matias to really make some things happen this weekend with a knockout. And him knocking out Puello, I just don't know. That's asking for a lot. Yeah, if he goes out there and knocks out Puello, he's gonna make a statement. I don't see it, but a lot of people see it though. I think it definitely goes the distance. But do I see a chance of Matias getting a knockout? Yeah, I do. Because I seen Puello take some shots from Sandor Martin. I'm just like not too confident in the in Puello's chin like that. But the only thing that I question is Matias gonna be able to fight in the inside the whole time? Like the last fight, he just walked through. I think it was the last fight, or it might have been a Ramirez fight. I had to go back and look. Might have been a Ramirez fight. He walked through a couple of shots. Boom, 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 boom. Especially in the inside with the uppercut. I think that was the Ramirez fight when he threw the uppercut. But yeah, he needs to throw a couple of those on Saturday. And the crazy part is he don't throw those a lot. It was clean too. Boom. Hard uppercut. Almost knocked Ramirez out. He could definitely catch Puello with these shots. I think Matias got a chance to win, but is he gonna throw the punches that he need to win the fight with? That's the only question I have. Is he gonna actually use the punches? I think lately guys have been losing because they didn't throw the punches that they needed to. And that's what a lot of people said about Matias in the Paro fight. He didn't throw the punches he needed to. And that's what I said. There's a lot of guys who lost like that recently. But if he could throw some uppercuts and fight on the inside with Puello, yeah, he can overwhelm him with some shots. I think he can hurt him. But Puello, if he gets this win at 140, he a threat. He said if he come out southpaw, yeah, if he does that, I'll be surprised. I haven't really thought about that. Yeah, that would be interesting if he come out southpaw, but I think he gonna stay right hand. The only thing that he did have some trouble with Paro in the southpaw. I'm kind of worried about that. But yeah, Puello, his boxing is underrated though. I'm not gonna lie. I knew he was good when I first seen him, but I was like, the guys he's fighting, I'm like, man, it's gonna be hard for him to beat these guys. But what he's doing right now is, I don't know, man. I can see him going out there doing the same thing against Matias because he boxed similar to who is it? Who is he similar to? I'm trying to think of it. Is it Faro? It's something that Puello does that's similar to one of those guys. Oh, he was okay. Bet that's breaking news then. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I ain't know that. But yeah, he needs to jab a little bit more. I want to see him jab more and just uh throw more combinations. That's really about it. And more uppercuts too. Yeah, you need to throw more uppercuts and jab more. But yeah, I think that's the fight that's gonna have probably the most punches thrown. I know Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson. Depends on what kind of fight that is. I feel like if it's a lot of punches in that fight, somebody might get stopped. But as far as Puello and Matias, they used to throwing a lot of punches and competing like that. So uh, I can see that fight having the most action easily, especially the way these guys talking right now. They both talking like they're gonna win, guaranteed. I know most fighters say that, but it's kind of hard to pick a fighter in this fight because Puello Matias takes a lot of shots, but Puello does too though. And I don't know if he could take these hooks from Matias. He said all fast people think he can't box because he forced the fight. Can't take that mentality. Yeah, I noticed that. And then when he was fighting Paro, I noticed he was getting frustrated with the trainer. because the trainer wanted him to be aggressive early. Like, so yeah, I don't really know what his game plan is going into this next fight. But you said southpaw, that's huge. He said Puello is a better boxer. He needed range to feel comfortable. Constantly moving to maintain the range will be his downfall. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I thought when Russell was doing that, he was kind of lunging too much and being too aggressive. Wasn't jabbing enough. I feel like if Matias is not jabbing a little bit more than what he's been doing the last couple of fights, he gonna have some trouble. Because I know Puello's not gonna have any trouble as far as the reach with anybody at 140. So he's a tall guy. You said Zepeda getting stopped inside 9 rounds? Dang, that's crazy. I was saying 10, maybe 9. Yeah, I was saying 10, maybe 9. 9 is wild. Yeah, I might go with 9 though, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie with you. I like 9 right now. A lot of people don't think he'll get a knockout anyway, so but I like 9 round 9. Even if it was round 12, that's a lot of people don't think that would happen, so it's a hard bet to make. Yeah, any of these fights getting a knockout is gonna be pretty difficult. I don't think most of these guys been stopped yet. So yeah, that's saying a lot. But I think Shakur has a chance actually. I mean, Zepeda's gonna throw what 700 punches, 900. He gonna have to make a decision. A lot of people gonna say, "Man, that sounds crazy." It's like that sometimes. But yeah, Zepeda's gonna throw like 700 punches, 900. So he gonna make Shakur make a decision, and Shakur is gonna make a decision. He's gonna fight. He has to. Zepeda's not like these other fighters. He's not gonna just go 12 rounds and be happy. He gonna force the fight. And he's talking like he lost his last fight too. So I would say he has pressure on himself to let his hands go. So that would force like a ninth round. But the biggest surprise to me would be more than anything if Puello was able to stop Matias. That would be something I'm not hearing. I thought about it a little bit. I mean, it's possible if you catch him on the button, but I think that would be the biggest upset result out of any of these fights because he don't got a lot of knockouts. Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. Yeah, by the first round. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think he will. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, man. I think it's gonna have a lot of action too. I think a lot of the talk around the fight is forcing people to talk about it more and putting pressure on the fighters to actually fight. But I think the way they styles match up, it's gonna be a good fight. in each fight, really. I think each fight matches up good as far as the action. That's why it's kind of hard for me to. That's why most people say Matias, if he wins, it got to be by knockout because they know what type of fighter it is if it goes 12 rounds with Puello. So yeah, people know they're gonna get a lot of action in these fights. And Zepeda is gonna force Shakur to let his hands go. Trust me. I don't think ring size and everything gonna make a difference as far as these fights. If you look at Tevin Farmer and Zepeda, they kept the fight in the middle of the ring. That's how the fight's gonna go. Yeah, trust me, the fight gonna be in the center of the ring. Yeah, for 60 is crazy. He said why you rock Turkey, multiple main event matchups, even one is a dud. You got three more. Yeah, I know. That's the great part. I don't know if this one guy that say he's still gonna fight Morel's opponent. They're trying to figure out if he gonna still fight his opponent, but yeah, for 60, it's a good deal right now. And these fight cards are still bigger than most fight cards. This is not a regular card you would get a year or two ago. Yeah, 60 is a steal. I know Canelo and Berlanga was like 89 or something like that. Yeah, but this is gonna be one of the best fight cards of the year. It definitely is because most of these guys are fighting on Turkey card for. Let me see. For the first time, what this year? I know Shiraz was on there last year. I know Shakur was on there earlier this year. Then you got Berlanga. Then you had Zepeda last year. Morel last year. Then the other guy, I think that's his first time. Matias first time. And I think Puello first time. So yeah, it's probably like 50-50 down the middle. Yeah, so most of these guys already fought last year. And the other half, the first time fighting on the card. I don't know, man. Might have some different kind of energy on these fight cards. You said bigger than the Barrios card, cheaper. I don't know. That Barrios card might be straight though. Yeah, I was saying that too. It's definitely better. But yeah, I'm gonna look back at that in a couple of weeks after that Barrios card happened. We're gonna see what card had the best fights. It's supposed to be this card, but you know how boxing is. Jordan, it might be the other card. Might end up being better. Remember last year we thought that Canelo and Munguia was gonna be a good card, but I think the Tim Tszyu and Fundora was better. Yeah, I think Tim Tszyu and Fundora was like the best card last year. That wasn't a turkey card either. It was between that and a lot of people like the Crawford and Madramal. I know I'm probably missing some other cards, but I can't believe it's cheaper than that Barrios card though. That's crazy. Oh man. Yeah, I can't believe that's surprising. Yeah, they got a lot of fights happening right now though. Next week, a lot of fights happening this weekend. Friday with Serrano and Taylor. Oh yeah, Hernandez and so they got Vladimir Hernandez stepping in again this weekend, fighting Varan. I'm probably gonna watch that though. I ain't gonna lie. They supposed to have Lester Martinez fighting this weekend, but you got Usyk next week. Bam, Barrios and Pacquiao. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's the cards. Next that Pacquiao and Barrios card. I don't know. He got a chance. If all the fights is good on the card, it's gonna be better. Cause they got Fedora, Tim Zoo on there. They got Cruz and Fierro on there. They got Figueroa and Joey Gonzalez. Yeah, they got some fights on there. Might get a surprise next week. You never know. You know, a lot of these guys fighting on the Pacquiao card, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna show up. But yeah, the only thing I'm worried about with the fights this weekend, with each matchup, well, the ones I'm talking about right now, especially with Shakur Stevenson, he doesn't have a history of really dominating a lot of Mexican fighters, especially that style. So that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. If we want to be real about the matchup, I don't see. I can see him getting a stoppage, but that's because of Zepeda's style. Not to say he's gonna be fighting scared, but Zepeda style, throwing 700 punches, 900 punches. That's gonna make somebody get knocked out eventually. So that's why he got so many knockouts. But yeah, anything can happen in this fight with Shakur and Zepeda. But oh no, I know he has, but uh, I know he has some fights. I'm just talking about as far as lately. I ain't see that second gear. Oh yeah. But no, I still think he's gonna get a stoppage against Alvarez. Oh yeah, I already know. I agree with that. I know he's gonna get a stoppage against Zepeda. I mean, it's a good chance, but yeah, yeah, I seen that recently. Yeah, I already know what you're talking about. No, I don't think the style is gonna hurt him. I'm just saying as far as I haven't seen it. You know what I'm saying? As far as Because even in that Valdez fight, I'm like, bro, he was supposed to press the gas. To be honest with you, I got more criticism over the Valdez fight for Shakur than I do the De Los Santos fight. You know what I'm saying? In the De Los Santos fight, I didn't really care about the performance because De Los Santos has went to a fight before and that's happened. So that wasn't just a Shakur Stevenson thing. But in the Valdez fight, bro. And then when you look at it now, Jordan, when I seen the fight with him versus Valdez, I seen it live. I was like, bro, he's supposed to stop him. I don't know why. I usually don't say that, but I was like, man, he was supposed to stop him. And I always felt like that. Then when you see what Navarrete did recently, what was that, December? When Navarrete just stopped Valdez, I'm like, bro, look how easy. And Navarrete got whooped by Baranchik. Look how easy Navarrete whooped Valdez. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, ain't no way Navarrete is on Shakur level. Even when you go back and look now, I'll be like, bro, Shakur supposed to stop Valdez. Navarrete made it look so easy last fight. And for some reason, even Valdez, like he showed Navarrete way too much respect. But I think Shakur having a lot of pressure on him this fight, as far as the knockdown and perform. You know, he had a knockdown his last fight, a knockout, stoppage. And he still got a stoppage his last. So yeah, I think he gonna show up. Yeah, he should have pressed him. And to be honest with you, that's my only criticism of any fights he had over the years. Just that one. I didn't think it was a big deal, but then when Navarrete, what's up, Flat Out? Shout out to Flat Out TV. Yeah, shout out to Flat Out TV, man. Yeah, I didn't think it was a big deal, but then when you seen what Navarrete did recently, you like, man, yeah, Shakur should have stopped Valdez. Yeah, as far as his hands, I don't know. His hands should be good. But one thing I will say, I don't think this gonna have any kind of factor on the fight with Shakur versus Zepeda. But I will say, I watched the fight between Zepeda and Tevin Farmer recently, and then I looked at the punch stats. Man, and I still think Floyd Schofield got a clean knockout too on Tevin Farmer. Because you know he do the same thing when he try to grab a guy, clinch. It just didn't work. Young guy was ready to go. But what I seen recently when I watched the fights over, man, he took a lot of punches from Zepeda. He took a lot of punches from Zepeda. Like, man, I know he got the knockdown, but he took a lot of punches. I think by the time he fought Schofield, he was already stuck in that last round versus Zepeda because I'm seeing the punches he was taking. I'm like, oh, okay, whoa. And then somebody mentioned it like after I don't know, was it the fifth or sixth round, the last fight he had against Zepeda. Farmer was just he was in the fight, but he wasn't in the fight. So I still think Zepeda is a threat, which is a reason why I think he can lead to either stopping Shakur or him or Shakur stopping him. It sounds crazy because those are guys that go 12 rounds, but or mostly against the type of style they're going against. But Zepeda, he's throwing too many punches, and he's going into this fight thinking that he has to throw a lot of punches just to have a chance. So no matter what Shakur is doing, that's what Zepeda will do. And Zepeda doesn't clinch a lot. A lot of guys Shakur's been fighting lately, they'll clinch every once in a while, even a guy like De Los Santos. But Zepeda, he's not gonna clinch much. So, and I don't think Shakur is gonna have a lot of time or chances to clinch. I think his defense is gonna be good enough to where he will, but it's gonna be a lot of time where he's gonna have to, punch through a lot of things. Yeah, I think this gonna be a good matchup though. But Zepeda, he gotta let his hands go. I think he will, but to have a chance in this fight, he definitely gotta let his hands go. He gotta catch Shakur. If he can make him fall, if he can hit him and knock him off balance and make it look like a knockdown, it'll be a knockdown if he knocks him down like that. Hey, that's a good thing to do too. Because after that, if Shakur is down after you knock him down, I appreciate that, Rude. Appreciate that, man. Everybody subscribe to Rude Exposure, man. Shout out to Rude Exposure, man. Appreciate that, dog. But man, if Shakur Stevenson, if he gets knocked down early, it'll be like a Andre Ward versus Kovalev situation. But I think he can stop Zepeda. But I ain't gonna lie, if he do get knocked down early, that'll be the best scenario to have because then he gonna get up and start letting his hands go. It might be like Pacquiao Thurman. But I definitely think he gonna punch though. He ain't got no choice. See, a lot of times when he's fighting guys who will clinch, they're okay with clinching. Zepeda's throwing like almost 90 punches around, so he's not gonna be doing much clinching. It'll happen, but it's gonna be 10 or 15 punches after that. So I don't know if guys are trying to be in between that clinching, and that's why I say it's gonna be a lot of punches thrown. Yeah, that's what Jordan was just saying. He said Matias gonna try to fight Southpaw. I haven't seen him much as far as a Southpaw. When he has tried, I haven't even noticed. To be honest with you, I had to actually go back and look. But man, that's not even a. I don't think that's a good scenario for him. He just need to jab more and throw the left hook. As far as what Matias, the two things I seen he ain't been doing lately is throwing the left hook and throwing the jab. He's thrown the left hook the last couple of fights, but I'm talking about as far as when he's getting to these big fights, like championship fights, He didn't throw that left hook. That's a knockout punch from him. Yeah. That's southpaw. He crazy, bro. Tripping. I don't trust it. Especially the way Puello boxing right now in the southpaw. Man, he'll get dusted off. The way I seen Puello fight Martin and Gary Antoine Russell, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something that's gonna make y'all love Puello style. I didn't like his style until like a week ago. His style is like somebody basically like hold something out there. You know, you like trying to close somebody in the door or something. It's like he closes somebody in the door, like closing the door. Like I can't explain it. It's like he'll jab, then a guy will get to a certain place, and then he'll just throw a quick hook. Boom. It's like he's closing the door. But yeah, they'll see this weekend. That dude is a beast, man. I'm talking about he been punking dudes with that style. He did it with Gary Antoine Russell, and then he did it to Sandor Martin. Same style. He don't got a lot of knockouts, but he came out, I think, the seventh round against Martin and was throwing some big hooks. Boom, 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 boom. Then Martin nose started leaking, I think around the eighth round. Talking about he really punking dudes. To be honest with you, he bullying a lot of guys right now. He doesn't have enough knockouts, but he's bullying power punchers. That's why I'm like, man, I don't know if Matias can pull this off. Yeah, him fight Southpaw, I think he'll lose. Now, fighting right hand, he got a chance if he's jabbing. I don't know what it is about Matias and Pitbull, but those guys have not been jabbing a lot lately or throwing a left hook. They don't fight the same like they used to. I don't know why. If you look at the way Pitbull fight against Tank Davis, what's going on, PD? Yeah, Puello a beast, bro. I definitely got Puello using that technique, like his hooks, his right hook, very dangerous. And then Matias leave himself open a lot, man. He take a lot of punches. So I don't know. We got to see. We definitely got to see. You think Matias gonna get it by knockout? It's a hard pick for me. I'm going back and forth on this fight. I had Matias by knockout, but then I was like, I saw Puello. I went back and seen his fight with Sandor Martin. I was like, nah, he beating the brakes off of dudes. But I think this is the closest fight, though. I honestly don't know who's gonna win. But I got Puello right now. But yeah, I honestly don't know who's gonna win though. But if it's by knockout, I would take Matias, but it's a chance he can get stopped though. You said Matias might lose? Yeah, he might lose. I don't know. It's a good chance. It's a 50-50 fight though. Yeah, it's 50-50. I want to see Puello Matias let his hands go a little bit more. This could be a fight that end up in a draw. You never know. The way their styles match up, it looks like that. If any fight could end in a draw, it could be this one. Because from what I'm seeing, Puello ain't fought no style like this, but uh, I think as far as Matias, he has fought styles like this, and he's had trouble. I seen a couple of things that Paro was doing. I was like, yeah, Matias gonna have a lot of trouble with that, especially when he resetting and walking through shots. Like Puello punched a lot harder than I realized. Yeah, and I seen how Puello was hitting. I don't think it was Gary Antoine Russell. I think the way he was hitting Sandor Martin, I was like, man, he got some power. Like he knew he was losing. I think it was around like round 3 or 4. Just hit the power shots he started landing. That's when I was like, I don't know, man. I think he might be able to get this fight with Matias. Yeah, he boxed better too. Yep, and he boxed better. I think Puello boxed better than Paro does, and a lot stronger. He said, "Dar." Yeah, bro. I think right now, PD. I think he the best at 140 right now. I think Puello the best at 140 right now. I noticed like 2 months ago, nobody calling his name to a fight. I gotta go back and check because I haven't seen everybody call interviews, but I haven't seen anybody calling him out for real. I thought that Sandor Martin possibly beat him, but then I went back and looked. Nah, he won that fight. Yeah, Paro. That's why I had picked Paro too. I ain't know you had picked Paro, Rude. Oh yeah, he did have a rehydration clause at 140. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think his trainer was trash too. You know, he had the same trainer as Zepeda. He ain't got him no more, but you know, he was using Zepeda trainer last year. And him and that dude was they weren't on the same page. That dude wasn't talking about nothing. But yeah, him and Zepeda had the same trainer last year. And you know how Zepeda looked against Farmer. Yeah, I forgot about that rehydration clause with the IBF. Yeah, he looked bad, man. But you know, his defense is still bad, but he was a lot more aggressive his last fight. His last couple of fights been a lot more aggressive. He ain't got no defense, but he is walking through a lot of punches. That's why this weekend is a perfect fight because he got a guy who got just enough power. And if he don't try to walk through this guy, like Matias, he control his destiny in this fight. If he don't try to walk through this guy, he ain't trying to win. Because Puello, he don't move that much. He move a little bit, but he don't move that much. He said that he just said the favorite words are sure enough. But yeah, Puello, he way better than people realize though. But I will say he be engaged. He be ready to fight though. Haven't heard anybody say he's a runner because they know he's there to let his hands go. But in the fight before, in the Ramirez fight, Matias got caught with a shot. Almost dropped a little bit. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a fact. That's what I was saying too, Rube. That's the same thing I said. But you know what's crazy though? Some of them fight. I forgot what fight it was. It sometimes it do be looking like he be holding back. Whether he does or not, I don't know. It don't help him in the end, if he does or not. If he does, that really don't help. But sometimes it look like he be holding back though. I said that about him, and I said that about what's the other guy's name? Charles Conwell. And I had forgot they had two guys pass away in the ring that they fought against. But for some reason I was like, man, them dudes like they holding back. So I don't know, man. It could be, it's possible, it could happen. But I know this time around he gotta let his hands go though. Yeah, he gotta let his hands go, man. It definitely plays a factor sometimes. He said he still want to shoot. All these guys want one though. You know what I'm saying? He'll say it, but shoot, these guys taking PEDs, they definitely want one. They ain't gonna say it, but they definitely trying to get a body. Everybody want to see somebody get a body. The way they moving out here, yeah, they want to see somebody get a body for real. Especially with Canelo team, the way they moving, that ain't even a question. Shoot, these dudes. That's why it's hard to tell who really. You say you think? Why do you think? I think no, Tank used Vada against. He used Vada against Roach, against Ryan. I don't know about Frank Martin, but against Roach and Ryan, he used. No, I don't think he got an issue with him because he ain't cracking like that. If he would have knocked out Pitbull or something, I would have been like, yeah, he's. But yeah, but as far as the flat out said the Juice Crew, yeah, I had thought about that today as far as that, but they ain't gonna like what I gotta say about that. But all these dudes trying to catch a body though, they don't like. What's crazy? Yeah, they don't like Wilder saying it, but these dudes are really trying to catch a body though. That's that be the only reason why it's like it'd be a waste of time even talking about PEDs. Everybody out These dudes really out here trying to catch a body. That'd be the crazy part. That's why I really chilled on it, because I'm like, I'm gonna sit back. They gonna act like they got a problem with it, but they don't though. As far as the juicing and boxing, people don't got a problem with it, man. Yeah, I had when I seen the fight flat out, I said, yeah, he on that dust, bro. Bro, he beat a dude who was a gold medalist like that. He made a gold medalist look like he was a bum. I said, nah, something wrong with that. I haven't even looked at the video yet, but I gotta go back and look at what I said about that fight. If y'all go back and look at the fight, that dude was punching in the 12th round like it was the first round. And I don't know, maybe I'm just when I'm at home, I be looking at the fights and I'm like, I know this ain't human. What's going on? And I'm not even a professional. Yeah, yeah. USA DA is the generic brand. That's facts. And that water is too kind of. I heard it's a little better, but it's close to being like generic too. Yeah, if y'all go back and look at that fight, he beating up old boy like it's the first round, and it's a gold medalist. I'm like, nah, that ain't something ain't right, bro. I've been watching boxing all year. This dude just got the worst butt whooping out of everybody who fought this year. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's a whole bunch of layers to it. You know what I'm saying? The whole everything. Because right now, uh, people are saying it's a lot of cheaters in boxing, and what they gonna do about it? I mean, they dudes is getting caught right now. I mean, they talking about what they gonna do about it. Dudes is getting caught right now. Dudes is getting caught. They getting reported right now. All right, that's two things that's going on right now. They catching everybody who's failing tests and they reporting it. The next step need to be the people who getting the information about these dudes failing the test. What they gonna do about it? That'd be the only thing I'm looking at. He said water is the people that raise the thresholds of computerol and other drugs. Yeah, they're gonna be able to do that because it ain't really no uh pushback on a lot of that. It ain't really nobody, no overseers or nothing like that over all this stuff. They can change things whenever they want to. Until it's really looked at as like something bad all the time, like a real stigma, to where people is like, hey man, I ain't even finna. But to be honest with you though, guys is getting caught right now. I'm gonna tell you what's going on right now, because you know I'm gonna lose people by explaining this part, but I'll just explain it anyways. Right now, what's going on is everybody is getting tested through VADA, and dudes is getting caught. Whatever dudes was using a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, they getting caught right now. And maybe they're not thinking that, okay, they're not a Turkey Al Sheik event, so they're not using this or this, but dudes is getting drug tested in every way possible. Any way they can drug test you right now, they getting drug tested, and dudes is getting caught. But if the fans don't look at it like, okay, well, if it don't change how you look at a fighter, it's not really a big deal. They can punish whoever they want to punish, but if somebody get caught with PEDs and people say, "Oh well, he's still great to me," then okay, then it ain't a big deal then. So at this point right now, it's based on what the fans gonna do with it. Because it's enough information out here to where this ain't got nothing to do with Turkey Al Sheik or nobody, promoters or nothing like that. Like we been knew dudes was cheating. Been knew dudes was cheating. Matter of fact, we know more dudes are cheating now since Turkey Al Sheik stepped in than before. But man, to be honest with you, Wilder said all this stuff already, and he got laughed at about it. So whatever Wilder said, that's how I feel about it now. Next week, next year, they ain't believe what he said about these dudes out here cheating. Oh, this is excuses. You know, everybody thinks everybody want to find out a reason for somebody they don't like to be a sore loser. They want you to kiss the toes of somebody else so bad that if you got a real reason, like Wilder already said, dudes is out here cheating. Oh man, yeah, all right. So ever since what Wilder said about dudes who cheating in boxing, every other boxer seen how fans wasn't rocking with them and how they roast them every time you got comments or something coming up. So ain't no other boxer gonna really speak up about nothing. I mean, we want people to speak up, but speaking up don't really do nothing. So you ain't gonna have a lot of boxers speak up because they gonna say is, bro, you seen what they did to so and so. You don't want to speak up. So until it get normal again, I guess. But yeah, as far as the drug test and everything, it's really like it's really over a lot of people's head. You know, people gonna want to know about it, but I don't know if they really want to know about it. They probably want to know what's going on today, but it's a lot more going on and then people saying Eddie Reynoso. Yeah, Eddie Reynoso ain't got nothing to do with Connor Ben failing the drug test or Dillian White. So I mean, Tyson Fury, his name was thrown around. That had nothing to do with Eddie Reynoso. So like, it's really just a whatever they feel like talking about today. Like dudes been juicing. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. If it was Deontay Wilder or somebody that was on that stuff, it wouldn't have took 7 other fighters to pop. Then people would be like, hey, we need to check out that trainer. They worried about Wilder trainer now. They worried about dudes who ain't even Wilder trainer right now. That's why I be telling people when I be talking about other stuff, people be like, man, I don't be want to hear that. Bro, they be talking about Wilder's trainer now. People want to talk about Eddie Reynoso and the PEDs, right? But every day we talking about other trainers who's not even as big as Eddie Reynoso. So it be little stuff I be trying to dog walk people to. It's like, bro, we need to talk about this. Eddie Reynoso. Why we talking about Malik Scott and who Wilder trainer is? Bro, we need to be talking about this trainer. Why he giving? So it's like, I don't know, man. But yeah, boxing is improving right now, though. I will say that because 5 years ago, they wouldn't even reported who's taking what. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's an improvement. And other stuff that's going on in boxing right now, as far as like the stuff Turkey doing and everything else. I mean, he got people just talking. Like that's all. If ain't nobody fighting, they talking. So that's usually what goes on, whether he's trolling or pushing narratives or changing rules. When ain't no fighting going on, it's just talking. So, and then another thing I realized too was Shakur was already going back and forth with him anyway. So I don't know what they got going on as far as going back and forth. So after I realized that, I'm like, I can't even say nothing about how he talking to him because he had already took shots at him once or twice already. So yeah, he might be a boxing promoter or whatever they look at him like, but that's still a regular guy at the end of the day who basically responded to another person who's looked at as a regular person to him, I guess. But yeah, he definitely but Turkey definitely leaning into it to put sell some fights though. Let's be real. Like he knows what I see about Turkey, what he doing it, he see the genius oh okay, if I just talk about running or a ring size or stuff like that, I can just stir up the pot and get these. Cause you know, people who's like diehard boxing fans who breaking down fights, they ain't thinking about none of that stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? So the people who think about stuff like that, that's who he's connecting with. But he ain't trying to connect with no diehard boxers or boxing fans with the stuff he be saying. But the stuff I have seen the stuff, I don't agree with a lot of stuff he say or do, but um yeah, a lot of that stuff, man, he over there like kind of like doing a thing with I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It really is. It's kind of like you know how like the casuals bring up the running and everything else. He's making that like a big thing now. To where we leading up to the whole fight and people are just talking about that. Hey man, what the ring size it is? Like all he did was join into the conversation, bro. This was a conversation before he even stepped into it. I already seen it earlier this year. They literally said earlier this year, "Hey, what you gonna do about the running and this and this and this and this and this and this and this?" Then you had all the boxers come out and say, "Man, the way these guys running from the money going up and this and this and this." So he just running with the narrative. But it'd be crazy how the stuff that really matter in boxing don't get no attention, man. That's the only thing I'm tripping out about. That's the only thing I see. Because, you know, whether you are a man, no matter what kind of boxing fan you are, bro, people gotta admit, bro, you gonna I just seen a whole bunch of people running around saying the same stuff. They did not want to hear from a guy like Wilder. Oh man, guys be cheating in boxing like this. Yes. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, bro. He said Turkey is a casual. Yeah, all these dudes are casual though, Rue. They ain't gonna count to you. All these dudes is casuals. I ain't even gonna count. I had thought about that too recently. As a fact, Turkey is definitely a casual. But I had to think about that too. I was like, bro, Turkey is a casual, bro. But then I thought about it. Bob Arum is a casual, really. He know all the fighters and everything, but bro gonna still jump up here and say Inoue is the best fighter he's ever seen, and uh, he gonna get up here and say Lomachenko the best is Ali. Eddie Hearn gonna get up here and say Joshua the best fighter today. You know, a lot of these dudes is casuals as far as promoters. I had to look at it that way, but the thing that I'm okay with Turkey with, man, catch these guys who's taking PEDs, bro. Catch these fighters who's taking PEDs. We need to start he's I want 70% guaranteed winner take the 50% on the table. we need to uh we need to start having guys actually figure out what promotional teams these guys are coming from. That would be the thing that I ain't seen nobody really thinking about today. Like, what teams is all these guys coming from? Like, whose promoter is like who fighter is it from? That's test positive. Cause yeah, the trainer and everything. Yeah, I understand that, but every fighter isn't just coming from one guy. He said what happened to Mungia B sample? It had came back. It had came back. It was it was positive. He in suspension right now. Yeah, it had came. Well, he in suspension right now. They in trying to figure out the situation right now, but I don't even think if it changed back to a no contest as far as this fight. But yeah, it definitely it was positive. So now you got Eddie Reynoso with all those guys over there, but still had another fighter who Morrell supposed to fight this weekend who was positive last year. And that guy really ain't had nothing to do with Reynoso. So we got a huge problem. Yeah, man. Munguia in a bad situation. I don't know what he's gonna do as far as the suspension. King Ty, what's up, King Ty? He said how y'all feel about Shakur's hands. Shakur's hands should be good, man, as far as this fight. His hands should be good. I definitely think his hands should be good. After he had that performance against Padley, I think he'll be all right with his hands. Um, yeah. After he had the De Los Santos fight, he can fight anybody with a. Yeah, he'll be all right as far as his hands. I think he's definitely good. We haven't really mentioned it either, so that's a good sign. He haven't really said nothing about his hands at all, so I think his hands is ready to go. I think he getting a stoppage. I think he gonna end up knocking out Zepeda. Jordan Smith said ninth round. I think like 10th round. Yeah, but right now though, to be 100 with y'all, because I said it before, but um, as far as the pads, man, everybody is gonna wanna it's gonna be a lot of people getting caught, man. It's just gonna be like that. The response of the fans will be basically no matter what happens, because they can suspend every boxer forever, but if every guy is getting suspended, then you know it's not gonna really matter. But how the fans are gonna react to a lot of these guys getting caught is gonna be kind of change how things is going or keep it the same. To be honest with you, that's what I ain't realized. That's what I had realized today, as far as the PEDs. Like, yeah, it's gonna keep happening regardless. Just like every job, it's always somebody who fails a test or something. But depending on how people react to how these fights go and the results of drug tests, and you might see something important, but might see some change. If not, ain't nothing gonna change. I'm gonna say that right now. Cause I seen a lot of people talking about the PED stuff, but then I'm looking around in conversations about other things, and I'm just like, bro, people don't really care about it like that, bro. And that's not good. People like, what you want me to do? Throw a fuss about it? No, I want you to actually care about the sport. Like, when I'm watching ESPN and we have dudes smoking weed, it's people making a fuss about that. But then when guys is taking PEDs and boxing, it's like not a big fuss. So it's like, okay. Then for people to act like, okay, yeah, I care about the sport. No, not really. You care about NFL players smoking weed, but not boxers taking PEDs. How do you care about boxing? I never understood that. There's no way you can hurt somebody in the NFL with weed. But it seems like it's everybody's duty to make sure that they say a guy who's using. So that's not really it's not gonna change a lot of things. You said got a good weekend of fights. Yeah, we got a good weekend of fights, man. We got to see if Morel's opponent right now is gonna be able to fight. He got to let me pull it up. I don't know if a lot of people know about this yet, but Morel's opponent has a paired test that is going to cost one of those fights from actually happening. Let's see if I can pull this up. Let's see, yeah, this fight right here. Well, Morel supposed to fight this guy this weekend, but let me tell y'all. Let me read to you guys what's going on with this. As of now, it's still going, but I don't know how it's going to all play out. They're talking about as far as the fight last year. This guy Katiev, he had a sample from April 9th, 2024 that was positive for a PED, and he was ineligible to compete from June 25th of last year until June 25th of 2027. This was by the International Testing Agency. I think this was like an exhibition or something like that he participated in. And they did some kind of drug test. And they said that it took place during Ramadan, and shortly after, they was talking about him having a high protein diet, possibly came from food or whatever. So they're saying technically he's supposed to be still suspended from a situation, so they don't know what's going on. So we got that fight that's actually like in limbo right now. We don't know if that fight is gonna happen. So we will only have Berlanga. If that fight doesn't happen, we will only have Berlanga. We will only have what's the other fight? Berlanga, Shakur Stevenson fight, and the Matias fight. So I don't know if they still can go through with that fight. I don't know why this news is coming out now. It's actually kind of weird because he's already been fighting. But yeah, man, it's gonna be some good fights coming on this weekend. But that right there, this guy not fighting, and it definitely hurt the card. Like I was telling Jordan earlier, that Matias, not Matias, but Barrios and Pacquiao card might be better than this one. Might be a little better. Yeah, let me see some. But yeah, we'll see as far as the news is coming out right now. But they got to make some changes though. They definitely got to make some changes. We got a lot of big fights coming on right now, and it's a lot of bad things happening. Dang, this is crazy. Yeah, they had a fight canceled recently with Ray Ford, man. But yeah, I think Shakur Stevenson, he gonna let these guys know this weekend. It's a lot of people that think he ain't gonna really do nothing this weekend. I'm saying it's a lot of people that acting like he ain't gonna do nothing this weekend. They gonna be highly surprised. It's a lot of people. I don't think ring size is gonna be a problem. I think that's gonna be a problem for Zepeda more than anything. Um, yeah, that's crazy. During Ramadan is insane. Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy that the story coming out now. It's almost like weird to report. It's like, why is this coming out a couple days before the fight happened? I don't even know they should fight or not. To be honest with you, if he ain't failed no test recently, me personally, I don't care. Because you already had Ryan fight recently. So if the man been testing already. This is an old test, then yeah, go along with the fight. That's the only thing that's confusing me about the news. They don't know if the fight gonna go on or not. Yeah, then the fight already set up. Yeah, how you fight it? How you set a fight up like this? Then you wait until the week of the fight, and then you're like, yeah, he's supposed to be suspended. See, me, if I would have found something like this, I wouldn't have really tripped about it because it's already been a year. I'm telling you, it's a lot of guys involved right now that's testing. It's gonna be a lot of people getting tested, getting caught like this. It's gonna be a lot of them. And they gotta understand it's not gonna be good. That's why a lot of guys retiring, man. I know people thought I was saying that just because, just to say stuff, but no, these guys retiring because it's three things going on right now. You know what I'm saying? It's three things that people don't understand it a little bit yet, but it's three things going on. It's a dog and pony show for sure, but one of them is the drug testing. Yeah, one of them is the testing. But this guy, it don't seem like he in much trouble though, as far as right now at the moment. But as far as the Rodriguez guy, yeah, he just got positive recently. Just got positive recently. But yeah, man, I seen the guy that your file was fighting Rodriguez a couple of weeks ago, the Mexican guy. Man, if y'all turn on the tape of this dude, he's throwing like 100 punches the last round. And it's just nothing I never seen. I never seen nothing like that before. I'm like, I couldn't even report on it. I'm like, man, this don't look right. It's a dangerous sport, man. Real dangerous. It's getting real. It is getting real, man. And I swear, if a lot of these guys gonna get forgotten about, man, if they don't if they don't learn how to clean themselves up. Seriously, you won't be fighting if you can't pass the test. Yeah, I think he gonna stop him. Um, just because Zepeda throwing like 700 punches, 900. I think Zepeda, if Shakur, I'm telling you, just the way I'm feeling right now, I might be wrong because I'm thinking about it too hard, but I feel like Zepeda's going to force Shakur to either knock him out or, get knocked out. Because Zepeda, the way he's talking, he doesn't sound like a guy who's going to rely on the judges. He seems like he's lost already, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know too much about that. I wasn't even gonna lie about it. PD. I'm like, what is this? Then I'm hearing it was like an exhibition. I'm like, they test for those. It could have been anything. Yeah, that's crazy. And on fight week, and that was one of the fights I was looking forward to because we still got Amanda Serrano Friday. I'm gonna talk about those fights still with Amanda Serrano and Shadasia Green. But yeah, man. To be honest with you, the guys got to show up this weekend. I think the girls is definitely gonna fight Friday at a high level. We need the guys to show up. There's a lot of Americans on this fight card, bro. They gotta show up because by Sunday we could say the girls got better fights on than the males. So yeah, I never heard of an international ban though, man. I have no, I have no. Right now, it seems like the reporters don't even know what's going on. So so he's cleared the box and he failed something while he was amateur box. I'm not. I mean, over that situation, I'm gonna be real with you. Over that situation, he was amateur boxing. He tested for something when he wasn't. Oh yeah. I don't know, man. That's a hard one to call, really, because man, we just saw some other guys that was in the same position. So yeah, it's a close one. It seemed like he cleared the fight though, but I think that's different from the other situation though. That's two different situations. But yeah, this weekend, man, it's gonna be a good fight card coming on Friday and Saturday. But right now, from what I'm seeing, we need like two knockouts on the fight card Saturday. I think in the Zepeda Stevenson card, we need a knockout, and we need a knockout in the. Let me see. I think the Berlanga and Shiraz. If we get a knockout in that fight, and Shakur Stevenson and Zepeda fight, That'd be a classic fight card. Cause those two fights you wouldn't expect a knockout in, even though you got Berlanga and Zepeda with the history he has. I thought for sure Morrell was gonna get one though. Not an easy knockout, but now if that fight still happens, yeah, I'm not really tripping over it, but yeah, like flat out said, they definitely the Juice Crew is definitely out here right now. Well, yeah, Turkey picking them apart right now. That's why a lot of people are not gonna be looking the same as they did probably a couple of years ago. That's why I don't make too much noise about it. I just, cause it is what it is. Most people don't want to be thinking about that all day, but it's happening. The news is definitely coming out right now. Now somebody said this. This is a good fight card. He said Puello decision, Berlanga by stoppage. I don't know. Shakur schooling, Morrell stoppage. I don't know, man. I feel I don't know if Berlanga get a knockout, man. It's a good chance he could, to be honest with you. If anybody could get a knockout, he's one of those people, but as far as with this style matchup, I don't know if he'll get a knockout with this kind of fight. He haven't knocked out nobody this good, I don't think. If I'm not tripping. And I actually want to pick Berlanga for knockout, to be honest with y'all. I think Berlanga in that mode this week. I know a lot of people probably say, man, no, he ain't. I think he in that mode this week though. I think he really let it. Hey, to be honest with you, I think he really want to let it go because Berlanga he usually be a lot more animated than what he doing right now. Like even when he was fighting Canelo, he was doing a lot more than what he doing right now. He kind of laid back this week, if y'all haven't noticed. It's a lot more laid back. And something I've seen Berlanga do, he got Shiraz talking a lot more than he actually had before. Like Shiraz is talking more, and Berlanga is talking less. So yeah, he really locked in. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I wouldn't lie. If I had to make any kind of prediction this week, I would definitely say Berlanga's locked in. Don't know if that's gonna equal to a win, but I would definitely say that. Because let's be real, if he lose to a guy who just came from 160, he knows he's in a bad spot. He know he in a bad spot. He knows this. A lot of other people might not look at it that way, but Berlanga losing to a 160, a guy who just came from 160, would be the worst thing that could happen to him. It wouldn't be a career ender, but I'm just saying it wouldn't be nothing that he'll want to brag about. He got to KO this dude. Yeah, Damas versus Morrell would have been good. Yeah, I heard Damas talking about he don't feel like a lot of guys at 168 can mess with him. Yeah, I heard Damas saying that recently. Yeah, I like what Adamas doing right now. The fights he's been taking has him in a good spot right now. Especially after fighting J Rock and Goucher. Yeah, Adamas looks good right now. I hope that he can fight Janovic, man. They talking about Janovic was talking about fighting him on Crawford and Canelo card. If they can make that fight happen, they should. because I don't think Canelo's gonna fight Janovich. So we need to make that fight happen ASAP. Oh yeah, Goucher. I was just watching Goucher fight somebody else last night. I was like, damn, Goucher done fought everybody. Matter of fact, it might have been Adamas. Yeah, it was Adamas. I'm tripping. Yeah, Goucher could fill in. You're right about that. He just fought what 3 months ago. I mean, he ain't no robot, but he is up in age, 37. He is a professional. Yeah, but I think they gonna stick with that guy at 68 though. The opponent they got, it look like they gonna stick with him. They saying right now it was an amateur test and it was a year and some change. As far as I know, he getting tested right now. I haven't heard anybody say he failed the test recently, so I think if he would have failed the test recently, they wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't like putting the wrong information out there. But yeah, so he didn't fail the test recently. He failed one, but he was doing some amateur fight. I don't know if it was a fight in between pro fights, but yeah, he has boxed professionally 4 times since he failed that test. That failed test is not expected to impact his license with New York State Athletic Commission for the Ring 3 fight. Yeah, so he's good. They saying that it was an amateur test. He failed, and they've been testing on Vada, so he's been testing with Vada so far. So yeah, I wasn't tripping. I know somebody probably heard that was like, "Oh man, that dude tripping." Hey man, I gotta say the right thing, bro. I just can't say anything, especially on the internet. They be tripping out here. You have somebody from no out of nowhere be like, "Hey, so and so just said today." If I have somebody else report something I said and it went right, I'll be cooked out here. But yeah, so they still gonna fight this weekend. But the guy failed last year. Yeah, if you look at some of these old pictures this guy got, he looked ripped up. Recently, he looks a little skinnier. But some old pictures he got, he looks ripped up. You could tell he was definitely on something. Yeah, but this gonna be a good fight card though. I'm telling you, Turkey is picking guys out, and he got the elite fighters really fighting. That's why he got certain fight cards with certain matchups. It's definitely starting to make sense to me. A lot of guys who haven't been in big fights recently, who want to be in big fights, who making a lot of noise, he making them step up to the plate. Like Berlanga, we've been waiting on him to have a matchup like this. It's a guy who's coming from 160, but the guy's an animal though, and a knockout artist at 160. So we got to see what's going on. But I think with Matias and Puello fighting this weekend, people sleeping on that fight card, man. Like with Matias and Puello on this fight card on PBC, that would have been a co-main event. They sleeping on this fight card, man. This is a very good fight card. Yeah, that's a good fight card, man. And then Morrell and him and Benavidez having these tough fights back to back. It shows that this era is starting to be a different era. It's not like the last few eras where you just have any kind of fight. It's not the perfect fight we asked for, but people did ask Morrell and Benavidez to fight each other earlier this year, so they still giving you giving the fans a fight they asked for. But we gotta look at what age group is doing that though. These is guys that's under 30 years old. 27, 28. So yeah, that's the only thing I see right now that's kind of changing where you got these age groups now starting to make a lot of noise. In the past, they'll have guys like this fighting on undercards, small cars. It's not even pay per view. But as I see the matchup between Berlanga and Shiraz, though, it does have some kind of energy as far as the main event, though. I don't know if they promote each other or trying to promote the fight, but it seem like they don't like each other for real. Berlanga usually talk like this, but I think with the whole Turkey Al Sheik situation and people feel like Shiraz has a close relationship with Turkey. Turkey want him to win. I think that's what made the fight a lot more interesting as far as with Berlanga feeling like they're trying to stop him from getting the win or getting the decision. So yeah, he definitely gonna try to go for a knockout. I mean, he has to be honest with you. He can go out there trying to box him, but that's a guy with a lot of reach. And I was watching Shiraz recently fight Adamas. Adamas was definitely doing some things that Berlanga can do, but I think Shiraz a dog, man. To be honest with you. Oh yeah, PD said Goucher a dog, he always get played on the card. Yeah. They tripping out here on Goucher, man. But yeah, I'm feeling these matchups though, man, for real. At first I was like, man, I don't really like these matchups. But when you really look at them, we already knew the Shakur and Zepeda, bro. We've been boxing fans been promoting that for about a year and a half, 2 years now. Zepeda name with Shakur is the only name that fans really wanted to see Zepeda with. So we've been waiting on this fight for a long time. But these other fights, kind of unexpected matchups. So, you got to see these guys really go back and forth to really get some kind of motivation to want to see the fight. Because in the ring, I still don't know how it will look as far as Berlanga and Shiraz and even Matias and Puello. Because Matias, we got to know he's still punching. Matias is definitely still punching hard. So that's the thing Puello got to watch out for. And to be honest with you, if I was Puello, man, I would not try to fight this guy the same way he was fighting. Oh man, I got this up real quick. Pull this down. I don't know why this up. I would not try to fight him the same way I Sandor Martin. That would be a huge mistake. Against Sandor Martin, it looked like he ain't have no kind of. I don't know if he's. I don't want to just say anything, but I don't know if Puello's having some kind of issue as far as weight, but it seemed like it took 2 or 3 rounds for him to really get going. Not even 2 rounds. It really took like 3 or 4 rounds for him to get going. And I think Matias, he can start off second round, really. And he's fought twice in the last, I want to say 8 or 9 months. I think the last 8 or 9 months he's fought twice already. He ain't had that many rounds, but he's fought enough styles to where I think he gonna be okay against Puello, but is he gonna let his hands go though? That's the only thing I'm worried about. Because against Paro, it was like he'll let his hands go, but then he'll take some half of the round off. He'll throw about 20 punches and then take the rest of the round off. That's the only thing I'm seeing right now where I'm like, man, I don't know if Matias is gonna be engaged the whole fight. If he fights that way, yeah, Puello gonna win. So that's why a lot of people say, yeah, he needs a knockout. But he can definitely get the knockout though. He can definitely get the knockout. I've seen Puello get hit with some easy shots, especially like with a jab down the middle and then you follow up with something. Yeah, you can get Puello like that. You definitely can. But if you're waiting, because most of the time Puello will either try to be first and then force you to counter, or he'll just wait. If you're aggressive, then he'll just counter you. That's why a lot of times when he's moving around the ring, he'll just let the guy follow him. Then he'll just start throwing hooks, throwing 1-2s, countering. Boom. Especially that right hook. Then he's literally showing the judges, okay, you see this guy's running away now. Not running literally, but I've seen it. Guys, Puello will be walking back. He'll be on the back foot. Then he'll start throwing hooks, going to the body. Then all of a sudden, guys start moving back. So yeah, he's finding a lot of trouble right now as far as the matchups. As far as Matias, he's finding a lot of trouble as far as these matchups because this is close to like a Liam Paro situation. And with Paro, man, he was doing a lot of pushing. That wasn't much of a factor though. Like Matias, he just wasn't punching. And with Puello, he has to do better. At least give yourself a chance as far as letting your hands go. I do like in the last couple of fights, when he's had a chance to really step to a guy, he's pressed the gas like early. Has been too aggressive still a lot of times, but at this point, he kind of lost a fight because he wasn't aggressive. So He might as well be aggressive for the rest of his fights. He's already taking a lot of punches and shots. So until somebody drop him, I feel like he can walk through most shots. Though you can't get dropped by anybody, but he gonna have to walk through a lot of shots to give himself a chance. Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to. And when Puello steps to him, that's where a lot of issues could, start to happen. Because I don't know what Matias is gonna do when Puello start to step to him. I'm gonna be honest with you. He'll throw some uppercuts. He'll throw the hook, but he's not jabbing a lot though. Yeah, he's not jabbing a lot at all. I don't even know what the reach is. The difference between the reach. But yeah, with him not being able to jab for 12 rounds and that type of fight, he's gonna be at a disadvantage. He was at a disadvantage when he fought Faro with that jab. He could have used the left hook a lot more. That would have I thought he would have won the fight, but yes. Matias got long arm reach. Yeah, him and Puello arm reach about the same. I figured that was. Yeah, so that's not gonna be a problem. That's why I said he might as well just jab. If he doesn't jab and move and try to set up something instead of just trying to throw hooks. Because I've seen him in fights where he's jabbing and throwing a left hook a lot more, and he looks more like a complete boxer, moving around and everything. On certain opponents, you can knock them out early, but he kind of was treating Paro like it was a easy opponent you can knock out. I don't know if that was a bad habit he kind of got caught up in, but that could have been an easy knockout. I watched the fight. I think it was last night. When it got to the 8th round, I think Paro had a point taken away. Like 7th or 8th round, he had a point taken away. Man, Matias could have stopped this dude. Paro was so tired. Everybody was like he was holding. Yeah, he was tired. He was ready to get stopped. What round was that he got a point taken away? I think it was like 7th or 8th, but he was holding. Yeah, 7th round. Because it was a 9-9 round. They gave the round to Paro. Guess a couple of judges did. And he got called for holding in that round. So yeah, after that, Matias should have pressed on the gas. I don't know if that was stamina because Paro did lose rounds after that, but yeah, he got outworked. He definitely was getting outworked. But yeah, I don't think Puello is gonna be in a position where he's gonna try to hold all day. I think if he holds, he's gonna be in trouble. But I don't think he's gonna try to hold though. I think he's gonna try to do the same thing that Paro did, or the same thing he usually does against uh, Gary Antoine Russell and against Sandro Martin. I don't think people can really stop it, man. To be honest with you, I think he's the best at 140 right now. I'm kind of shocked, and I actually didn't want to say that because I'm thinking Hitchens But nah, man, this dude is the best at 140 right now, man. He's a animal. He is an animal at 140. Nobody want to fight him. He want to fight the best. I seen him just call out Hitchens and got somebody else he called out at 40. Forgot who the other champion is. It might have been Tiafimo or somebody. But yeah, he's one of the biggest threats right now. Because if he's looking like this at 140, he's gonna be there at 47. So they might want to take care of this guy right now before he gets to 47. You think so? I think it's a possibility. When he fought that dude Ramirez, he got caught in the first round. It was quick, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a flush shot, but he got caught quick by Ramirez and yeah, I don't know, man. That dude Ramirez, he kinda I didn't really get to see much from him in that fight. But yeah, Ramirez caught him quick though. And that's kind of do similar things to what Puello does a little bit. Yeah, Ramirez was only 2 rounds. Yeah, it was a clean shot though. Look at it was in the first round. It happened like within the first 30 seconds, first 20 seconds. I was like, oh man, he get hit by Puello like that, he might get knocked out. And a lot of people feel like Puello lost to Sandro Martin. I had Sandro Martin winning that fight, but nah. As far as the results after the fight, nah. I picked him to win, but he didn't win. I went back and seen that fight. By the time the 8th round came around, that fight was already lost. Yeah, he was getting the brakes beat off of him. I'm telling y'all, I seen it. Sandro Martin was not trying to make it. He could have really pressed the issue after the 8th round. He didn't want to do anything after that. So yeah, it's gonna be a good fight, man. I think this is a fight. I heard a lot of people saying this is gonna be the fight of the weekend. At first, I didn't agree, but I don't know, man. Got a good chance, man. These guys gonna throw a lot of punches. Has a very good chance because if Matias gets stopped, I mean anything be crazy. If Matias lose, that'll be crazy. If Puello lose, it'll be crazy. So yeah, we need a matchup like that where one of these guys lose. It's really gonna be. It's gonna shake up the division. Even though Matias lost last year to Paro, he's still right there. He got one more chance, and then because he could have fought Tiafimo, he was supposed to fight Tiafimo March 15th. So yeah, if he's able to pull this off, that's gonna change a lot of things that's going on right now. And let's be honest, this guy's not young anymore. I think Puello is much younger than he is, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure. Puello's 30. He's 33. So yeah, it's kind of like a new era almost. So maybe Puello is just stepping in like, hey, I'm the new guy and I'm the best right now. I'm fighting the best. On the paper, Puello has a better resume already. Let's be real. Let's, on paper, he definitely has a better resume right now. Him beating Sandor Martin and Gary Antoine Russell. Yeah, he has a very good resume. Yeah, and he got a win over Atmadov. So yeah, Puello been putting in work for a minute now. Yeah, him and Rafael Espinoza, the first time I seen those guys, I was like, man, them guys beast. But then I ain't think about it no more. I was just turns out those guys are a lot better than I thought. Yeah, he beat Antoine Russell and Sandor Martin the last 12 months. He's doing all that. If he beats Matias, he's gonna be the best guy at 140, without a doubt. In my mind, right now, the best guys at 35, 140, it'll be Puello at 140 and Shakur Stevenson at 35. Especially after this weekend, I think if both of these guys get a win this weekend, they should be the best of the division. That shouldn't be a question. Puello finna have Matias, Gary Antoine Russell, and Sandor Martin in 12 months. That's something you ask a boxer to do. Like you want your favorite boxer to fight Gary Antoine Russell, Sandor Martin, and Sabril Matias in 12 months. Nobody else doing that right now. So for him to actually be doing this, it kind of put pressure on everybody else. Because if he keeps fighting guys like this, his resume is gonna be it's gonna pass everybody else's. Because at 140, he got like the best resume right now. At 140, yeah, I don't know too many people that got wins on their resume like that. Teofimo's stands up. I mean, Richard Hitchens. I know he has Paro and everything. Cambosa's 35, but I'll say Teofimo's probably the only one that can hold up right now at 140. Yeah, but he's won some big fights. Dominated too. I know it's a lot of split decisions, but you go back and look at those fights, could have been unanimous in a lot of situations. PD said that's why I rock with guys like Shakur and Puello, not big punches and willing to fight everybody. Rayo a dog too. Yeah, Rayo a dog. And I heard recently that Pitbull not leaving 140 and going back to 35 unless he fight Tank. He said he ain't going back to 35 unless he fight Tank or somebody. So I guess he gonna stay at 140. As far as Rayo, I don't know. He could be going back to 35, but it wouldn't be easy after you go up one time. But yeah, they sleeping on Puello and Shakur because they're not big punchers and knockout artists. But when you're looking at these guys, they're not really wasting energy throwing a lot of punches. because a lot of these guys don't want to engage. Like Puello got way more power than these guys realize. So once they start to engage with him, even when Gary Antoine Russell was engaged with Puello, letting his hands go, boom, 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 boom. When he started feeling those shots in between those punches, he's like, and you can look at his face. He was getting touched up, man. Like the guy, he's willing to engage with a lot of people. That's why I say it's possible he can get knocked out. But I don't think he's gonna get knocked out though. I think both of these guys got a chin. But Matias, I seen him get cracked recently, so we'll see. Anything can happen in these fights. Oh yeah, let me see something. I haven't seen Puello's comfort box yet. I want to look that up. If I don't look it up now, I want to look it up later. But let me look at his comfy box. Yeah, so Russell threw about 600 punches, only landed 100. That's saying a lot. Puello threw 400, landed 100. So he's not throwing that many punches like that as far as like 600. But 400 is still a good amount though. Especially after what we seen recently with guys throwing 60 and 70 times. I'm just looking at something. I haven't really paid attention to how many times guys is actually punching. Matias and oh, so Matias is throwing. That's the thing about Matias though, man. He a little more accurate though. That's why I said, man, he be the last fight. I don't know what he had going on. Not last fight, but against Paro. He threw 600 punches and he landed almost 200, which is 31%. And yeah, first round he didn't do much. Paro threw. Man, these stats is insane. Y'all see this? They say Paro. They say Paro threw 89 jabs in the first round, only landed 2. That dude was punching nothing but air, man. He was trying to punch every direction he thought Matias was coming. This man was throwing 60 jabs and only landing 4. That's a crazy stat. Yeah, if you look at how many the percentage of jabs that Paro was landing, it's crazy. Let me see. This man Paro threw. This is a crazy stat. I might talk about this in a video. This man Liam Paro threw 500 jabs. He only only landed only landed 29. This man landed 29 jabs out of 500. And the craziest stat is Liam Paro threw he threw 1,100 punches and landed 25%. Bro, he really had to work to get that win. This man had to throw 1,100 punches. I seen the fight recently. He needed every punch. He threw over 1,000 punches against Matias. He threw over 500 hooks and uppercuts, and he threw over 500 jabs. Man, this dude was boxing, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This dude was boxing. Landed 41% of his hooks, power punches. Landed 41%. That's crazy, man. I'm telling you, when I was watching this fight, I'm like, I don't know why this dude Liam Parr looked like he was working. 1,000 punches. I don't know if Puello needs that this weekend, but that's a crazy stat to have. I'm not gonna lie to you. That man had 1,000 punches. Let me see. When he fought Punts. I'll find that later on. But yeah, that's a lot of punches, man. So to beat Matias, that's the only thing I'm saying. You gotta either knock this guy out, set him up with something, or you gotta throw like 1,000 punches. So Puello gotta be busy. And I'm telling you, this guy just lost last year. It's gonna be difficult trying to get this win. I'm telling you. I got Puello winning, but this is gonna be one of the most miracle wins we ever seen. Yeah, that right there scares me, bro. That means the only reason Matias losing fights is because guys is throwing 1,000 punches, and he took all those punches. Yeah, 40% of your hooks. Yeah, that's crazy. And let me see about Matias. And the thing about Matias, he wasn't throwing a lot of jabs. He was only throwing like 11. But he was landing. But in some rounds, he landed more than Paro, or about the same. That's why I said he needs to jab a lot more. This man was landing a lot more jabs than Paro did as far as percentage and numbers. Paro's at 2%, 3%, 6%. Like, that's why I said he was just outworking Matias in every way possible. And it's cool, you're gonna get outworked sometimes in a fight, but to have to rely on the knockout probably if you're not gonna be boxing, yeah, that's gonna be risky. Yeah, but I feel the same way with that fight as I do with the Shakur Stevenson fight with Zepeda. But I feel like he'll get a knockout easier in that fight. just because of everything that's going on. His hand, um, the narratives around the ring, shrinking the ring, the Tom and Jerry stuff. It's gonna motivate him to go out there and beat Zepeda up, really. Because a lot of times when Shakur gets like this, as far as with fights, guys end up getting stopped. You said Matias' defense is terrible. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. That's why I'm wondering how. And but what I did notice though, as far as with him, yeah, he counted. He counters a lot more. That's what I'm banking on too. That Puello will counter a lot more and will beat the brakes off of him. I think his countering got to be on point. Yeah, if he doesn't counter well in this fight and have Matias timing down, because Matias he drops his hands all the time. Puello gonna have a chance to hurt him, but if he gets hurt first, that's gonna be a bad look. To be honest with you, he better not get hurt first. But yeah, Matias has some terrible defense, man. One time I'm seeing the punches he walking through. I'm like, especially in the first round. If I was Puello, I would take my chance in the first round, like Ramirez did. I would take my chance in the first round. I think everybody who had a little bit of success, they was aggressive in the first round. I think Paro was, but I think Puello just gonna take the same kind of approach as Paro and just box with him. I don't think he gonna punch as much as Paro did. I think he gonna load up on a lot more punches. Cause like I said, he got underrated power. He got some underrated power. He almost dropped Sandro Martin a couple times. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that this guy's flying under the radar like this right now. Still, it's not a good sign. If he's still undefeated on Sunday, he's gonna be the best at 140. And I think, and I like Hitchens, but he gonna be the player gonna be the best at 140, man. He's definitely gonna be the best. I'm looking for Russell to get that rematch. That's why I'm looking. I'm gonna look at a couple of these interviews. I haven't heard anything about him and Russell doing a rematch. Oh yeah, he did call him out for a rematch. I'm tripping. That's why I didn't want to say nothing. I ain't know. Yeah, I had to stop myself. Yeah, he did call him out for a rematch. I didn't hear it recently, so I had to catch myself for a minute. He did call him out for a rematch. Okay. He said he want a rematch with him, but he opened to other fighting other people. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Man, look, if I was him, I'd be pressing for that fight right now. because they lucky Shakur wasn't at 140 recently. He could fight at 142. But yeah, that would have been a good situation. But yeah, Matias need this fight though. I think Shakur definitely needs this fight. If Shakur goes out here against Zepeda, man, this will be a huge setback. I think Shakur definitely need this fight. That's why I said he's gonna try to get a knockout. He's not gonna press and do what Haney did against Ryan Garcia, which he could if he wanted to. But I think that he's gonna take his time, and Zepeda gonna meet him in the middle of the ring. He definitely gonna meet him. He knows this is a tough fight. Zepeda definitely knows this is a tough fight, man. He knows he could possibly get stopped. This fight was supposed to happen recently in February. This fight got pushed back because Zepeda team felt like he wasn't ready. They felt like they wasn't ready twice already. So yeah, this fight been postponed twice already. So Shakur has really been waiting on him. So yeah, I feel like the pressure is definitely on Zepeda. That might not be the headlines or narratives, but it is though. Because now you got a guy who's not really looked at as the underdog. I think he's like plus 1,200 or 1,300, whatever it is on the Vegas betting. They got Shakur almost guaranteed to win. So yeah, he's already marked down as the winner before the fight starts. I just know one thing. If you're Zepeda, you definitely need to try to meet Shakur in the center of the ring and walk him down or whatever you need to do to cut off the ring, or because they're doing all these rules and just bringing up certain stuff, ring sizes. If this man doesn't accomplish the job, it's gonna be a lot of embarrassment around his name. Not that he did on purpose, because he don't really speak English like that, anyways. I'm just talking about as far as whatever everybody's doing as far as around this fight. If he doesn't show up and let his hands go, the embarrassment gonna go on him. It's not gonna go on Shakur Stevenson. Because we already know what kind of numbers Zepeda putting up when he steps in the ring. So if he go out there and throw 300 or 400 punches, we already know what time it is. Yeah, he better let his hands go, because it's a lot of guys that Shakur has fought before that really haven't had this kind of I would say pressure on Shakur to make the fight a lot more interesting. I know people have said it before, but it feels like he's the main event too in a lot of ways. I mean, a lot of fighters feel that way, but feels like he's the main event fighter. He want to go out there and put on a good performance. I'm pretty sure he don't want to have the most boring fight. But yeah, Zepeda gonna have him thinking out there. But the only thing that worries me is Zepeda, Shakur be showing the Mexican fighters a lot of respect with their style. I don't know if it's because of the punching, the wildness. It's not really nothing that's, it's not really a way you can kind of control it. But a lot of styles like that, it's not really taming them like that. Now, guys who's from America, yeah, he can handle that style because he's familiar with that. But I don't know, man. The only thing I really see as far as a negative on his side is that I haven't seen him dominate a Mexican fighter on the level of Zepeda, on the level of a Zepeda, the way that I've seen other guys do it. Like even if he goes out there and people feel like if he don't go out there and drop Zepeda, that'll be a failure because they'll say, well, if Tevin Farmer was able to drop Zepeda, then you didn't drop Zepeda. That's not a good look. Then Zepeda just fought Farmer twice. You can say those fights were hard for Zepeda. It definitely wasn't easy. So this is the best time to really catch him. If Tevin Farmer, let's just say if Tevin Farmer took damage from the Schofield fight, that means Zepeda took damage as well. Not from the Schofield fight, but before the Schofield fight. That means Zepeda as well took damage from the last fight he had with Farmer. So yeah, you definitely got to take advantage. It's probably the best time for Shakur to fight him now than it would have been last year. That's why I said he needs to knock him out. This is a situation where you should be guaranteeing knocking this guy out. Because he's gonna come to you and he's not a highly skilled technical boxer. He's technical enough, but not on the level of elites of the elite. So yeah, he needs to go out there and really show his toolbox, man. Like Shakur Stevenson need to really show all his tools. I wouldn't use the hand as an excuse. I don't think it's gonna be an excuse this time, like it was for the other fights. But he really needs to show his tools in this fight. Because Zepeda, he's throwing way too many punches. And he has a lot of pressure on him. If he goes down, I think Oscar, behind the scenes, I think Oscar feels a lot better about Zepeda taking this fight because Schofield looks so good in his fight. But, if Zepeda loses this fight, it's not going to be a good look for Golden Boy. So, Zepeda definitely has some pressure on him to go out here and make it happen. But he needs to be a fighter who tries to knock out Shakur, though. I know everybody else that stepped in the ring with Shakur, they did what they could, I guess, but he needs to be the guy that when he gets out of the ring, everybody says, oh, he tried to knock Shakur out. You know how like Jen Suzuki was with Brian Norman Jr. recently? One thing you hear about that fight between Brian Norman Jr. and Jen Suzuki, you won't hear nobody saying, oh, well, those guys weren't trying to knock each other out. Those guys were trying to knock each other out. They weren't even, they definitely were boxing, but you knew what they were trying to do. Everybody knew that fight wasn't going 12 rounds. I think that's one thing that a lot of people are not taking away from that fight with Norman, but that's how these guys need to fight. You need to fight like it's not going 12 rounds. Especially if you have a style like Zepeda's. He needs to do the same thing that Suzuki was doing to Brian Norman. If he can't do that, and then people are going to try to make it seem like, well, Shakur's going to move. He's not going to move that much. Trust me. He can get to him the same way Suzuki was getting to Norman. And he got dropped in the first 5 seconds. So he needs to be in the pocket the same way that Suzuki was. That's the type of fight I want to see. Because I think a lot of people are putting the pressure on Shakur to show up. But I'm telling you, if Zepeda go in there throwing 40, 50 punches or whatever, it's going to start to look sketchy a little bit as far as on his end. He ain't trying to let his hands go like that. He put too much history out there, and I think he can make something happen. I really do. I mean, they all elite fighters, so I think all these guys can win. But yeah, if he give himself a chance, he can make something happen. I haven't really seen guys really trying to test Shakur chin like that. I mean, in a lot of situations, and I would say they kind of they try to knock him out a little too much sometimes. They don't go to the body on him a lot, so I want to see Zepeda 100 punches around and see what he do against Shakur Stevenson because yeah, as far as in my mind, the pressure is on him to perform. Like it looks good against certain fighters, but against Shakur Stevenson, yeah, it needs to happen. He did a good job in the Tevin Farmer fight too, but he got caught. He got caught with some big shots against Farmer and some countering, like the way, like the check hook for Farmer, especially in the first fight. Yeah, he almost dropped him twice. Zepeda almost got dropped twice in that fight. So he's definitely opening himself up to get dropped. So that's why I say Shakur has a lot of opportunities to knock him out. A lot of opportunities. The man is throwing a lot of punches. He's gassing himself out by throwing all these punches. And he's just throwing punches anywhere. And he's trying to counter everything. He's trying to be first every time. So as far as like from a style standpoint, yeah, Shakur should be able to break this down easily. Yeah, this should be easy. If it's hard, I don't know, man. Still got guys like Andy Cruz at 135, so it will say a lot about 135, but yeah, if it's hard, it's gonna be a tough situation. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for coming through on the live, man. I'm gonna be back on here probably later on tomorrow. I got some other stuff to talk about. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, hanging out with me on the live.